Hi, this video is going to explain in more detail than the email that you see about the action step brainstorming process and how you fit into it. So it is a little bit complex. That's why it's good to watch this video. Where we're at, obviously, is the end of step number 1, if you remember in the action step planning process, which goes all the way through here. This is attached. It refers to the strategic plan, which is also attached. So there will be 12 brainstorming sessions in all. Now, there are 16 strategies, but we didn't want to do 16 individual strategic sessions about strategies, because that takes a lot of time, manpower, woman power. So Ron, Sue, Mike, Shira, and I got together and we formulated different ways of making the whole process as streamlined as possible. And this is how it's landing. Out of those 12 brainstorming sessions, which are going to cover 16 strategies, there will be 8 brainstorming sessions where just one particular team is involved in one particular strategy. Now, your team, for instance, obviously, if you do the math, that doesn't work out because there aren't 8 teams, right? So your particular team may be involved in, let's say, 3 strategies. So maybe you'll have 3 brainstorming sessions. So you'll see that on the attachments. You'll see which strategies you're attached to, okay? And only you, or only your team. Now, along with those 8 brainstorming sessions, where you're just going to come up with all possible action steps that could lead to fulfilling one strategy at a time, right? And I'm going to lead you in that. So I'm going to facilitate that. So you and your team are going to be there. Now, when I say team, I mean whoever you choose from your team. I don't necessarily mean the whole team, because maybe that's too much. You got to keep the trains running, right? And people have vacations at different times. And if you wait for everybody to be together, it could slow things down too much. Maybe some people just have more important things to do. So you're going to decide either by yourself, you just write down a list and you don't consult any of your team, or you may consult, have a team meeting, or you may talk with everybody individually. But you're going to decide who from your team is going to be in on those individual strategy brainstorming sessions to which you are assigned. Now, in addition to the people on your team, anybody can volunteer to also join you. So don't get all protective over this is mine. Yes, it is yours, but it is also anyone else in the organization who has experience. They may not be on your team, but they may be able to contribute valuable ideas. So it's open to all volunteers, with a little asterisk that the volunteer has to get their unit director's permission too. So if one of your people wants to volunteer for a different strategy for which your team is not listed, they need to get your approval. I'll be sending out an all-staff email in a day or two to let them know that about this, okay? Now, to give them a high level. So that's one thing. So partial team or full team, up to you. How you decide, up to you. By when you decide, I want you to decide by the end of day next Monday. I'm pushing this thing. Now, in addition to the 8 brainstorming sessions, that's just 8, right? And we haven't covered 16 strategies that way. There are another 8 strategies that need to be covered. We're going to have 4 sessions that are going to be like the 8 brainstorming sessions of individual teams. They're 2 hours. So these 4 sessions will also be 2 hours each. However, they will be split. In the first hour, one strategy will be worked on. We'll come up with action step ideas for the one strategy. And then there's a break, a short break, just like there are in the others. You want to take a break, of course. And in the second hour, there will be a second strategy that we're going to work on. And in between, it could be that some of the people, some of the teams that were involved in the first strategy, because those are multi-team groupings to come up with action steps. Those are going to be fun, action oriented, and will drop off and will not be considering the second strategy because they aren't as relevant. So look at your attachments and see, am I in this? Am I in that? Now, I'm going to walk you through the process, showing you the attachments. So, first attachment is simply this: you want to find out, well, what strategies does my team need to work on? So there are two ways you can do it. There are two different attachments sorted differently. One is sorted by strategy, which is this thing I'm about to show you, because I'm not going to take time to go through sharing my screen. On the right-hand column over here, you see it's strategy 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, etc. No, there is no 1.5. That'll be 2.1. Okay, and then it'll tell you, well, what's the summary of the strategy? Number 1.1 is expand use of train. Okay, well, that's a nice summary, but you also want to check, of course, the real strategic plan for the full language, and I'll be using the full language during the brainstorming session. And then it says, well, which teams are involved in that? So this one is one of those 4 sessions that I mentioned. Okay, so it has multiple teams discussing this one strategy. Okay, and I just named it group train. Okay, fine. You'll see on this list. The other way of looking at it, excuse me, is sorting by teams. And that one is called Teams Strategies. That's another attachment that you have. And it's sorted alphabetically, so it starts with operations, which means really Sue and whoever Sue chooses. Now, Sue, because she's on the, I like to call them the Fantastic Four. I hope I didn't just embarrass you if you're one of those 4. But Sue, Ron, Mike, and Valerie, right? Maybe I call them sometimes the executive team. They can choose to delegate to somebody else their unit director hat or their department leader hat, because maybe that's a better use of time, and maybe some people know better, and whatever it is. So operations doesn't necessarily mean everybody in operations. Now you look over here, and this is obviously the single team strategies are on the top, multi-team strategies are on the bottom, and then you say, oh, which strategy? There it is, 1.1, and there's the summary. And this sure looks like it's not focusing. You can see it better here. Okay, there you go. And then finally, there is, just to make things super duper clear, there is teams in the 4 2-hour brainstorming sessions that are split by strategy. Okay, so this explains that. So if you're not watching the video and didn't hear my explanation, you're going to hopefully, you're going to figure out what this means. And then, of course, if you have any questions, either go to the FAQ. No, first go to the FAQ. And if you still have questions, please contact me by email, or even you can just pick up the phone. Unless I'm busy, meaning unless I'm talking with somebody, I will answer you. My phone number is 201-306-0528, and it is in the email. Have I left anything out? No, I don't think so. There's more information in the attachments, and you should look at it. But overall, here, this is how it's going. Some teams will just at some time work on individual strategies. Other teams the same team at different time will work together with other teams on a different individual strategy. So I hope that is clear. You'll be doing the scheduling of your single team strategies. I will be sending out doodle polls for the multi-team strategy sessions, the 4 multi-team strategy sessions of 2 hours each that are split in the middle, which I already explained. But sometimes it takes a while to hear it, to really have it go in. Okay, have a wonderful day. Read the email, look at the attachments, and it's July 4th. I'm having a hard time not saying God bless America.